Are you surprised to see where skateboarding is now?
I dreamed all of this.
Yeah.
I dreamed it, man. Like when we started, we were so disrespected.
Yeah.
It was so hard. It was like we were just grinding against everything, and we didn't want to. It was like it's a misconception that we were the rebellious ones and that we were looking for trouble. We weren't.
Yeah.
We loved skating so much. We just wanted to show people what it could be. And when they couldn't see it, it was so frustrating and heartbreaking. And then suddenly, some concerned citizens pinning you on the ground, some cops got you in a headlock, somebody throwing a milkshake at you, it's like, and everything gets tough. It's all a grind, and it's like, it doesn't have to be this. We didn't want it to be that way, but we cared enough about it and we loved it so much that we were willing to fight.
Yeah.
Like we were willing to grind back, And I remember thinking, when the Future Primitive video came out, Bones Brigade Video 2, Future Primitive, it's one of my favorites.
Legendary.
When that came out, well, first of all, my buddy ordered it from like Skates on Hate or something. I don't know. Like, we ordered it from we're in New Jersey. We ordered it from a shop in California and, out of Thrasher magazine, like, mark the box, tear the thing out, write your address.
Put it in an envelope. Gotta mail it.
It never he ordered it so long ago that we forgot that that he did and that it never showed up. We were just going about our business, and one day we were at his house at the end of a skate session, and it was I don't remember what time of year it was, but it was like it felt like it was getting dark early kind of thing, and we were at his house, and everyone's okay, we're getting ready to go. Everyone's gonna go their separate ways, and all of a sudden there's a knock at his door, and we're like, well, what the hell? Like, because if it was anyone we knew, they'd come around to the back. They wouldn't knock on the front door. It was like he had a back door house. And I'm like, what the hell? So he opens the door. It's a UPS man. He's like, "We have a package for you." And as soon as I saw the package, I knew it was like the size of a VHS tape. I was like, that's a skate video. And so we busted open, man, and we put it in the VCR, and the Future Primitive starts with like a TV station signing off for the night. It's like, we're signing off for the night. And then the national anthem the national anthem comes on, right? And as soon as the national anthem started, we were all like sitting down. I was like, "Everyone stand up, stand up." I was like so excited,
Take your hat off.
Yeah. And then the opening montage starts, and it was just like, you couldn't believe it, man. Just blown away. So we watched the whole video. It's the first time we saw wall rides, and the first time we saw video of like Nadas Kappas has like 2 clips in it. Jesse Martinez has like 2 clips in it. So we loved the Bones Brigade, but we were looking for those other people that like we only seen a photo of in the magazine, and we're like, dude, that's Nadas Kappas. That's him, and he's riding a wall. What the hell? So we had never seen this stuff. So as soon as the video ended, we all were supposed to go home and eat dinner, and we just grabbed our boards again. We took off into the night, and it was a school night, and we stayed out all night and just slamming into walls, just trying to figure out how to do a wall ride. Like our noses were splintered, our boards were just destroyed.
Love that.
But
it's so sick.
Yeah, it was. Wait, why did I start talking about that?
I don't know, but I'm fascinated. That's what a skateboard video should be. You got out, man. It makes you want to go skate.
Yeah, especially when you're a kid.
Oh my!
I remember that.
There was actually, if we could rewind, there was actually something that set up me wanting to talk about that was going to lead to some sort of point I was going to make.
I asked about how were you surprised about where skateboarding is now? You talked about how like we rebelled.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. You got it. Thank you. I really would have been bummed.
That was a great story, though.
I would have been.
I was visualizing the whole thing in my head.
And those kids had faces.
They did, but they were blank in my head. But still.
But so after I saw the video, I told my dad. I said this to my dad. I said, "Dad, I want to organize something where we get the whole city to watch this skateboard video called Future Primitive, because if all the citizens saw the video, then they would understand us. They would appreciate us."
Wow.
He's like, "You're fucking crazy. Nobody wants to watch that shit." It's like, oh man. But I mean, that was how idealistic I was. I was so idealistic about this, man. I loved it so much. That's why I became a pro skater. Like, it was that idealism, that energy that led to me being able to become a pro skater.
Right.
I just wanted to do something for skateboarding. I wanted to move it forward. And so when people come up to me, they're like, "There's fucking bullshit about these fucking kids that they don't." I'm like, shut up. Man. We fought for this, man. We wanted to make this happen.
Right.
It was back in the day when this didn't exist. And it's like, dude, it's called evolution, man. It's called progression. You know,
I trip out
exists.
hearing stories about way back, like, oh, early 80s, that skateboarding died. Or I'm like, I can't imagine that actually happening because skateboarding's been, ever since I've met a skateboard, like, you know, I saw it. It's never left my life, and it's been a part of my life ever since.
I mean, the only thing I experienced was sort of the downturn in the early '90s. When I started skating, it was booming. It had just recovered from its early '80s, late '70s, early '80s death. But the skaters that emerged from that death in skateboarding, well, first of all, Thrasher Magazine emerged from that.
Yeah.
And Steve Caballero, Christian Asoy, Tony Hawk, Lance Mountain, Jeff Phillips, the list goes on and on and on. These are, these were pioneers of vertical skating. And then, of course, the pioneers of street skating, Mark Gonzalez, Tommy Guerrero, Jesse Martinez, Nadas Kapis, so it'd be really hard after the advent of street skating for skateboarding to completely die.
Yeah.
Street skating, backyard ramps and street skating changed it forever. It was no longer reliant on skate parks.
Yeah.
And corporations.
Yeah.
And when we took to the streets, we started writing our own rules. And so there was a bit of a downturn in the early 90s. But also, anyone who skated during that time period will tell you it's one of the best times in skateboarding. It was great.
Wow. What the way it was.
Yeah.
Listen, Discord question. You ready?
Wait, hold on. I could have checked out in the early 90s. My career was clearly over.
Right.
Like, this dude came along and all of his friends.
Right.
All those guys.
All those guys.
Ethan Fowler in Western Korea.
Yeah, these guys, they just kept coming. It was like hit after hit. I was like, I had my 15 minutes. Maybe it was like 13. I had 13 minutes, and then it was like Ray Barbie, boom. And it was, Ed Templeton, boom. Right. Jason Lee, boom. Matt Hensley, boom. It's like, stop.
Yeah.
But all those guys, they were all like the same age, but I was already sponsored. I was already pro. I already had a board out, and they all looked up to me, and I played a role in their skating. And so, it wasn't punches to the face. It was like, Yeah. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, this is great, man. This is cool. And I got to watch it, and then it just kept going and going and going. And I just asked myself every step of the way, what role can I play?
Right.
Right. My 13 minutes had come and gone.
Almost 15.
You still got 2 minutes left, dude.
2 minutes, bro. 2 minutes.
I've been maximizing those 2 minutes.
But I could see how that could be like you said, a punch in the face. Like this threat is like, these guys are coming from every angle.
Every angle.
It could have been perceived really as a punch in the face or as a threat, but I never did. I was a fan. I was a fan, always a fan. I still love, take it into skating with Costin for the first couple times, and the hype that he had. It was like, Costin is the end of you. was basically how it was presented by anyone that like knew him. It's like, oh, and here he is, and he's the end of you.
Yeah. You're done.
And then someone like Jamie Thomas coming along.
Wow.
I remember the first time I skated with Jamie Thomas. I was in San Francisco. I was there with Jamal Williams and a couple other guys. And we drove up. Me and Jamal drove up from Huntington Beach, and we met up with some other people, and we were skating up there, and we were at Embarcadero, and then we went to skate some other spot, not that far from there. I don't know the names of the spots or anything, but it was these big round blue, like benches or something.
Okay.
And most people were manualing them or doing manual tricks or something. And I was like, I'm gonna 180 that whole fucking thing. And I come like down the street like a madman. It's boom. And first time I almost make it, but it was big. It was big, and our wheels had gone,
Sure.
and then our pants went. So you got little wheels, and you got these big, like not aerodynamic pants. They're just like parachutes, just like grabbing the wind. So it got a lot
TV
harder.
Days or PAL days?
It'd be like TV, yeah.
Mm.
And so I come back around. I'm gonna go for it again, and this kid goes, "Hey, can I try that with you?" And just like the story about Svitek, when I met Svitek, can I skate with you in the demo? Yeah, sure. There's a good vibe. This kid says, "Hey, can I try that with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, of course." And I'm not sure if he did it before me or I don't. That might have stung a little bit. I don't remember the circumstances, but I remember him asking me. And then after the session, he handed me a tape. He's like, "Hey, I want to give you my tape." Now he didn't give me a tape like sponsor me. He gave me a tape like, this is me. Like, I'm not asking you to help me. I'm just showing you what's up.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
So we get his tape, and we ended up in a hotel room in San Francisco, and we had a VCR with us, or the room supplied one. It's just like, I don't know how we watch these things. It's like, it's just like when I tell stories about back in the day in the 80s or something and making a phone call, and then I call the guy, and I think to myself, how did I call the guy? How did that, was it a pay phone? How did I know the number?
Did I have the number in my pocket?
Just like
Get a sheet of paper.
it's just like someone gave me a tape, and then I was watching it in a hotel room somehow. But there was a bunch of us. I think we had met up with a bunch of people, and there was a lot of guys in the room, and I put the tape in, and we're all watching it. And when the tape was over, I was like, holy shit, this dude is the real deal. And I was like, yeah, is he sponsored? I was starting to think, like, how can I get involved in what this guy? And most of the people in the room were like, nah, fuck that dude. Fuck that dude.
Take my spot.
And I was like, and it wasn't even people that I was working with, that I was sponsoring. It was just a general vibe. It was like, nah, man, he's not that, and this and that, and they're like little chattering. And I was like, he's better than everyone here. They just know it. They don't want,
They're scared.
I just never had that. And so that was Jamie Thomas. I just never had that kind of, oh, dude, what can I do to throw stones in his road? It was more like, what can I do to assist this person further up the road? Jamie's like one of the last great pioneers, because there's a certain point where the pioneer days are over. The West has been won. The ground has been plowed. Yeah. And I mean, it's even really where he really starts to make a mark in skateboarding it's a little late to even say he's a pioneer, but he did pioneer, to me, he pioneered sort of this, it's kind of the identity even that skaters today have. It's this a certain approach, video parts, and this kind of just going for it type of thing.
Sure.
I remember the day after he did the Leap of Faith, I was with Grant Britton and Ted Newsom, and I'm hooked up with them to film and shoot some photos. And Grant comes up to me and goes, "Dude, we were with Jamie Thomas today. He ollied off a building." And I was like, "Yeah." And people had started to go off some pretty big stuff. I was like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "No. He ollied off a building." I go, "Well, how high?" He goes, and he's looking at this building. His finger keeps going up and up and up. And I was like, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And he's like, "I'm serious, man." And by the way, he never said that he didn't land it.
Okay.
He just said that he did it, and the doing it was enough.
That he tried it,
right.
the fact that he tried it.
He literally ollied off.
Yeah,
He did. He ollied off. Definitely.
Yeah. And I just think it was like, that was a moment where there was a shift. It was like, okay, he didn't even land it. He tried it. What's possible? Skating's only gotten bigger and gnarlier from that day forward.
Well, you think about this, like how many tricks are that iconic that have a name that have not even that wasn't even landed.
Just tells you that. I mean, that's how heavy the dude is.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamie's the real deal, man.
It's a leap of faith.
Yeah.
He didn't land it, and it's the most
But at least he tried.
known trick.
Yeah.
I wonder. There's not one
What it was
trick
like-
even close to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there anything? I can't think
That
of
hasn't been
one
landed?
trick that hasn't been landed that's so glorified.
Right.
You know.
I say at that moment the clock struck 0. You know, it's just like it was a reset. It was
Right.
a reset. It was like, damn, the landscape just changed.
Yeah,
you know?
that's awesome.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Where is that like button? Right? Is it right here or right here?
Just a little scroll coming down the bottom.
It's
Subscribe.
over to it's on your
It's on my
left.
right? It's on
No,
my
on your
left.
left.
Hey,
Yeah.
hit
Right
that
there.
button right there.
Right there.
Right
Yeah,
there.
please.
The like button's kind of like in the middle there. It's like we're kind of
Oh, it's like right here?
Kind of.
Like right
and
there?
The subscribe's like over to the left.
It's like right over there. All right.